this team plays together more than really any team I can remember that I've been since I've been the head coach with. Tonight, offensively, we played much better, and in the first half looked like what we had been the last 15 years. Defense played good, gave up a couple big plays, but rallied, held them to field goals. The mistake we made is we gave him another touchdown in special teams, and we talked about it, we stressed it, we talked about it, we stressed it, and we gave him another, but we got it back. We got it back with the defense. They snapped one low and kicked it around, and we recovered it. So the 3 touchdowns were even. They got one, we got one. And then the difference, obviously, we had 25 first downs to 13. They only had 56 offensive plays to our 77, so obviously it becomes a percentage game. We had time of possession 35 to 24, which I know it's funny we're talking about time of possession, but with the team that we have this year, that's important. They were 2 of 12 on third downs, and we converted 8 of 17. Big statistic. And then obviously they were only 1 of 2 on fourth down. Now you could say that that's not a big deal, but it is on fourth down. If you're 50% on fourth down, then that's for us. That's good. And then Spencer obviously being 22 of 34 for 345 and 2 touches, so he played well. So I was proud of our team. Guys are coming along, getting a little better in certain areas. Continue to work hard. You know, it helped having a couple guys back out there. Give us some threat at the wideout spot. Not be so young out there like we have been the last few weeks. So I told them to enjoy tonight, and we got to come back and go to work tomorrow. So they got to get rid of this one and be ready to go to work and get ready for the next one. Nobody cares about what you've accomplished up to this point. They only care about your next game. So hopefully they'll continue to stay disciplined and focused, which is what we talk about all the time. When we come back to work tomorrow, we can get ready to play the next team.
Mike, you said your first half looked reminiscent of past years, but the second half it seemed the offense went a little more conservative. Was that by design? You guys built that lead and decided to, or? No.
I think it just happened that way. We weren't trying to do that. I made a poor decision in the first half when Appeal intercepted the ball. They wanted to get into 2-minute, and I wouldn't let them. I just felt like with the lead that we had and the history of the total number of points that Kansas State scored this year, you know, it becomes the numbers game where I didn't want to give them a freebie accidentally. And I should have just stayed out of it. I should have just let Dunn call plays, but that's my fault. It cost us a field goal. But in the second half, we really weren't trying to do that. In fact, we talked about not doing that. We didn't block as well for a quarter and a half, and then at the end of the game, when they knew we were running it, we started blocking better. I wish I knew what the answer was to that, but that wasn't the plan. But we kind of got in that role a little bit. Fortunately, defense was playing good. We started to get a pass rush in the second half and get some pressure on those guys. Quarterback made a nice play. We had him sacked going down. He flipped it out, made a nice play in man coverage. We didn't have anybody on the back. But other than that, pretty good defensively in the second half.
What stood out to you about Spencer and what he did well?
Well, I think he was just more consistent tonight. You know, he missed a couple throws, which is all right. I mean, you're going to miss some. He missed 28 running down the middle of the field. He's going to score a touchdown. Wasn't anybody home, which probably would have ended the game right there. It would have widened it so much it would have put them in an all-pass mode, which is not really where they want to be. But I just thought he was consistent. You know, he competes like always. He played hard, made good decisions. You know, he's healthy and he feels good.
How much does, this may seem a little obvious, but how much does Tay Martin change things when he's in the game and allows you to kind of open that playbook more?
Well, he's a threat.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you guys watched this the last 2 weeks. When you have young players out there, the other team knows you have young players, and they go challenge them and say, go make a play. Not that they're not talented, but they're not, you know, the term that they're not calloused. You know, they haven't been through it. They haven't been beat up. They haven't been hit. You know, they haven't played in front of crowds. They're not ready for that. Tay Martin's ready for that. He's played a lot of football, so he becomes a threat out there. Most of the time, they kept 2 people out there around him, which allows us to rush the football more. We used 85 some to sub him, to give him a break. He's feeling better. He's not 100%, but he's feeling better, and so that helped a little bit. 10's making some plays. 80 made some plays tonight and showed up. So, it's nice to have some of those guys back.
Mike, I know you don't wish, obviously, injury on guys, but the receivers, to have so many of those guys out, and you guys had to focus last week on that run game so hard. Do you feel like there may be benefits? I mean, that balance we saw in the first half, where you guys were able to run and pass.
Right.
Do you have to find the silver lining there with that run
Yeah,
game?
we were better. We rushed for 137. We were only at not quite, we were only at 3.8 a snap. Now, we were probably closer to 4 based on, taking the losses there at the end of the game, regardless, but we need to be over 4. We need to, I don't know if, years around here when we were blowing the doors off everybody offensively, we were trying to get 4.5 a snap rushing. I don't know that we're there yet, but we need to be over 4, and we're a little short of that tonight. But we were better. We blocked them up several times tonight, and 20 ran hard, but 7 really runs hard. He gives you that threat. So I would say there's probably some truth to what you said, that because we had to stress it so much, we were a little better at it tonight.
Is Jalen, was that a cramp that he ended up with?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he needs to. We got to figure out a plan for him, because we had to take him in and IV him just to get him back in the game. So we got to come up with a plan for him. He's a sweater. He sweats all the time. So we have to do a good job. He's got to do a good job. We can't afford to lose him like that for a quarter.
Like you talked about not long ago, scheming some things better. Are you figuring some things out with what you've got offensively?
Who's that?
Scheming, your scheme offensively.
It's better. Yeah, it's better. And again, I'm going to go back to, I'm never going to talk about who we don't have in a game, because it is what it is. Everybody knows who we have and don't have. It's extremely difficult to scheme offensively when you have youth and limited weapons in certain spots. It's just difficult. I mean, and you just get where your hands are tied. So they've done a great job getting to where we are now, to where we can get our head back above water. And I told the coaches tonight, they had really good plans. And I tell them, sometimes I tell them, your plans suck. I tell them the truth. And sometimes I do. I make mistakes, and I tell myself the same thing. But our plans were really good. The offensive plan was good, the defensive plan was good, and our special teams plan was good. We missed 2 tackles on the long return. So I was pleased with that.
I think this is the first time this year you've had the same offensive line that you had the previous game. Just how big a deal is that?
Well, we're working the big guy in a little bit at tackle, but to give Birmingham a break. But we're liking how he's playing at left tackle, which has been a pleasant surprise for us. And so they're getting comfortable out there as a group. And knock on wood, I don't think any of them got dinged up. But it's hard for me to say, because I thought that before and come in on Sunday and something happened to them. So, but what you're saying is right. So far, we're hanging in there.
You moved Silas Barr to Cowboy back. Is that a short-term thing? Is that a long-term thing? Or
It's long-term now, because of some of the things that we have to do. Cassidy was getting worn down, and Austin's just not far enough along yet. He just showed up here in August. If he had been with us in January, he'd be different. He's doing fine. He's coming along, just not ready. He's some things he can do. So Silas can come in and help us at that position, because he's pretty mobile for his size. He actually caught a pass in practice and said it was his first pass ever in his life he's caught. So I told him he needs to get 50 jugs a day, just in case somebody makes a mistake and we throw him another one.
On those lines, Cassidy had a couple catches tonight.
Sure.
Was that good to see with the guy that said he's open about his struggles catching the ball too?
Well, and he's doing great. I mean, he's got a lot thrown on him in short time. With 87 getting dinged up and not playing, and then Gerard not really being away, all of a sudden he becomes like the focal point, and he wasn't really ready for all that, but he gets a little better each week. And then, of course, that's why we moved Silas over to help him out a little bit.
What about Brock? I know you just came in from the field, but what do you know about his injury?
I think that he will be back in a few weeks. I don't think it was something that would end the season. You know, he's had some shoulder problems and stuff, and I think he's got it dinged up again. And once you've been injured like that, anytime something like that happens, it scares you as an athlete because you're afraid, you know, you just get afraid they're taking it away from you. So hopefully just maybe a few weeks on him.
Did you notice the offense have more success on first down in the second half compared to previous games this year? Did that allow, you know, those long scoring drives?
In the first half?
Yeah.
Yes.
First half.
Yeah. I was to say the second half was not good.
Right.
But the first half, yes, we were good on what we call PN10, first play of the down. We were a lot better. And I mean, I'd have to go back and look, but I remember being we mixed it up really well. Pass, run, pass, screens, different things. Casey did a really nice job. I'm gonna guess in the second half it wasn't as good, and then it just kind of turned into molasses. And fortunately, the defense played well.
Tyler Lacey comes up with that strip sack on 2nd and 10 to force a 3rd and long. You guys forced an incompletion. How huge was that drive, obviously, towards the end of the game?
In I think the one before that, we got him in 3rd and 12, and offense was sputtering really bad. And so for some reason there was a timeout. It was a change of quarter, I think, when we went down there. That was a big play because we needed to stop them there and not let them get momentum, because really nobody had any momentum because there wasn't anything going on. It was good defense. But that was a big down to stop them because we needed to get the ball back and at least keep them from getting momentum because we had sputtered offensively. And then the next one that you're talking about, in a sense, really kind of sealed the game, you know, just numbers-wise, based on once you get them in 3rd and 20, you hold them, they punt to you. We only needed a couple first downs. So that was a big play.
Mike,
You mentioned Alex Hale's technical issue this week. What's he dealing with right now, and has your confidence changed at all after tonight?
To be honest with you, this might sound funny. I'm not worried about his confidence. He's a strong young man. He's very mentally tough. He's working to change some technique. Again, he knows how to fix it, but it's like you going up there with your driver. You play golf,
Sir.
and you keep cutting it to the right, and you're trying to fix it, and then it goes this way, and you're like, just give me another beer. I mean, right? I mean, that's what happens in golf, and it's very, very tedious. Okay, and he's trying to fix it. I have a lot of confidence in him. Nobody's going to take it harder than him, but he's going to be our kicker, and he's going to fix it. So it's just very tedious. I know it doesn't seem that way, but the best illustration is just like trying to drive the ball and put it in the fairway. And when you start struggling and you know how to correct it, and then you correct it the other way, then it really messes with you. So I think that's where he's at, but he'll get it fixed.
Thanks, Coach. Everybody good?